Hello, hello. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm back here today to tell you guys how to make cold brew, how to make cold brew coffee and tea, and why you might want this setup here in front of me. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Samantha Mendoza, and I am the business leader of Divine Enterprises in Northern Nevada. And we are working out of the kitchen right now while the studio is closed. And I'm coming to you guys to tell you a little bit about our cold brew and accessories. How many of you guys are missing going to the coffee shop or your tea shops? I tried a wonderful tea shop in Texas when I was there last fall. I love going and being at the coffee shop. But you know what? Before all this happened, I started making a lot of my own at home just for the sake of saving money as it was. So now with these great opportunities, not only am I saving money, I control what's going in it. I control all the calories. And you know, when there's a lot of things that we feel like we can't control lately, this is one of those things. So I'm appreciative of that. So I want to tell you about our setup right here and why you would want this super awesome cold brew maker. I'm curious how many of you guys are into cold brew coffee or cold brew tea, and you know the difference between cold brew coffee and iced coffee, if you will. So I'm going to share with you guys a couple of different things that I have going on here because I still drink hot coffee in the morning every single day. I have my Keurig right behind me that I use regularly. And I have cold brew every day, and I often have tea every day. So when they say stay hydrated, I'm doing my part. But I do also always have my Tupperware water bottle. I have my exclusive one that has my name on it. And that's what I use. But you know, a lot of us have our favorite cup, and I'm excited to tell you about your new favorite cup today. So first I'm going to tell you about our setup right here. If this part is something that you're interested in, we'd love to help you be a part of it. You know, we heard Barbara Cochran recently say right now is the best time ever to be an entrepreneur, still have control of your income and the opportunities that you have. So I'm excited to share with you how you can still do that right from the comforts of your home with your computer, and you can choose to get dressed and be ready for the day or sit in your pajamas, whatever works for you, right? So here at home, I am doing a lot of different things. My kids are learning to cook a whole lot more new things. We are trying and experimenting more things. How many of you guys feel like you have made dinner 800 times in the last 2 weeks and that the sink is never empty? At my house with 3 boys and a husband who is working 12 to 16 hour days every day right now, and my kids being at home, my oldest is working construction, so they're eating a whole lot more. I'm like, man, you guys must have eaten a lot in school, right? So we are taking those opportunities right now to be more conservative and save money, but trying and experimenting more things at home as well. So what do I have going on here? This is our canister set. Some of you guys may recognize. I don't know about you, but growing up, do you remember the burnt orange color, avocado green, the mustardy yellow, and they were not see-through. They had the little flowers on them, and then they had the push seal, but it was our old-fashioned accordion seal. Well, these are the new and improved because Tupperware always takes things and makes it better. Even as their product or something else, they always make everything better. So what I love about these new ones is it's still a one-touch push seal. It has a nicer, bigger lip on the seal, so you can take that right off. But you have a see-through window, so you can see what's going on in here. And as you can see with my canisters, they're not just for flour, sugar, brown sugar, your baked goods. They're for all kinds of things. We had an event at the studio that allowed us to have a lot of people there. We didn't have enough utensils, so the extra went in here. I think, oh yeah, the kids had this one full of candy when we had our event there. So you can use them for all kinds of things. This big one down here at the bottom holds the entire large Costco size of Folgers ground coffee, which is awesome for what I'm going to tell you about today. In addition to the canisters, we also have our squeezy bottles. How many of you guys are hairdressers and could use a good squeezy bottle? Or how about the big bulk size of ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise that you have when we all get back to, I mean, how many of you guys are having huge family reunions when this is all over, right? I know we are on both sides of the family, getting back together, hanging out with our troops, our family that God chose for us and the family that we chose for ourselves, right? Our friends and family. So squeezy bottles for all kinds of things. And it might just be the ketchup, the mustard, the mayonnaise. For today, it's for the syrups, right? Because you can make your own syrup in here, your own oils, you can do that kind of stuff. And then we have these wonderful clear containers. So mine here at home, I have one like this here and one at the studio that has raw sugar. I don't like a lot of generic fake sugars, and so I use raw sugar for everything. Things like my coffee and my tea, I drink my coffee with just creamer, but when I'm having tea, I put raw sugar, and it's like yummy little crystals inside your tea. It's wonderful. Try it. But what I love about these counterscaping containers is they're plastic, but they look like glass, so they can be fancy on your counter. But on the inside here, you see that it has this little spoon, which is really cool. So you can just take out your little spoonful of sugar, no pun intended, right there, and then it snaps right back on the inside. And seal that baby right up. It twists closed and it's good to go. So we use them a lot at the studio for bulk spices when we do our spice classes. I have raw sugar in here. You can use them for crafts. How many are you big crafters and you're doing a lot of crafting right now, right? So you can put all of your different size googly eyes in here, Mom. You can use them for all kinds of things. Then we have our ice tray. Now you might not have a fridge like mine that just makes your own ice. At the studio, ours does, but the piping's a little different there. So we have an ice maker, or you can use these and you pour in here your water and seal that right up, and you can pour it right through the cap, seal that up, and then you take it to the freezer just like this so that you're not carefully going across the kitchen counter, right, or across the kitchen floor over to the freezer to put that in there. And then you have nice ice inside of here. Or how about when you go to take it out, you're still going to remove the seals just like a baseball diamond, like we've always taught. And the inside of these are little squishy silicones that you can push that in and they pop right out, making it so much easier to pop the ice. You're not having to twist it and move it like we did growing up. I don't know about you guys, but that's what we did growing up. Now, something else that you can do is put extra broth in here, like chicken broth and things like that that you have left over. If you're making baby food, this is a great way to make homemade baby food in here from the blender right to your ice trays. Pop those out a couple at a time and have those for your kids. How awesome would that be? And the last part of this set is that special cup. Again, how many of you guys have your favorite cup that it's just your go-to every day? I know I do. I know a lot of my friends do. Right now we can't use reusable cups through different drive-thrus and different places. So why not have your own that you can pour things right into, or better yet, make your cold brew or your tea right at home, save yourself some money, have a reusable insulated tumbler. How great is that? So what I love about this one in particular is that it is not only a double-walled plastic Tupperware cup or tumbler, as we like to say, but you also have your dripless straw seal. So this is kind of like a window. When you have it cracked open and the screen is there, meaning your straw, then yeah, things can spill out, but they're not going to spill out a ton like if your cup was uncovered. But when nothing is in here, no straw, then it seals it right up because of this little rubber guy inside of here, seals it up, you can take it on the go. However, what makes this tumbler a million times better is that it comes with our reusable straw. How many of you are already tired of paper straws because they dissolve in your mouth before you even get through one cup, right? Or one serving or whatever you're looking at. So what I like about this one is that it detaches. So if you just had a smaller favorite cup or tumbler, you can put that in there. Or for these large, what we call venti size, then you can put that right in there, and you can, the straw itself can go in, down, or up, whichever your preference is. And then you'll notice here, and I'll come a little closer for you guys, You'll notice on the tip of our straw here, it has this little rounded piece. And that is done on purpose because if you travel with your favorite tumbler and you happen to grab a drink of whatever you have in there, then you can, you go over a speed bump or something, it's not going to hit the top of your mouth. Well, if it does, it's not going to cut it. And that's what makes ours different. And it also is safer for our kids. It's not dissolving paper in your mouth. It's reusable. So we're not having straws out there not in a good place, right? So I love that. I'm going to show you what I do with mine. I'm going to grab a couple things here and show you how to make cold brew and how to make cold brew coffee and cold brew tea. Now the difference between cold brew, let me kind of get a little bit rearranged here so I can give myself some working space. And for today, what I'm going to do is show you a couple different options of things that you may want as a consumer or that you might be interested, because everything that I just showed you in this set here is $158 value. Everything that you see. We have the canisters, the ice tray, the squeezy bottles, our insulated tumbler, and our counterscaping, 2 of those. You get all of that $158 value for only $30. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. And our cold brew carafe, $39 value, you can get for just $10. But let me show you why you're going to want to have this anyway. So I already have, these are like constantly going in my house. So I have one already with tea. I have a couple favorite tumblers that I always carry with me. So before I store this away, because I'm going to show you how to make the tea as well, I'm just going to, because I need to have this. And so what I started this one with, I'm going to take my, how many of you guys remember these? They change colors. This is an old one from Tupperware. And we can seal that right up. And then I just store it right in the fridge just like that while the next one is brewing, because this is enough for me to get through the day, but I'm going to need to start a new batch for the week, right? So I'm going to have that one. Because I'm using this one again for tea, I'm not going to clean it out because it's my house and I don't need to, but I would always recommend that you clean it, and you want to use our bottle brush because they are the perfect length. Mine at home is blue. Yes, it looks like a toilet brush. It is a bottle brush because it goes all the way inside of your carafe and all the way inside of your large water bottles, which is really nice. You can see, and I'll just put this in the sink, you can also wash this one in the top rack of your dishwasher, which is really nice, so it gets all the gunk off if you've been using it for teas and flavored waters and things like that, or even your cold brew maker. It's also really handy, and I'll show you in a second, but you can see it'll get all the way down inside of there and it cleans it really nicely, where a lot of bottle brushes, you can't get your hand physically all the way inside of there, so it's a lot more handy that way. It also is really nice down inside the mesh piece of our cold brew to clean that out when your grounds get stuck in there, maybe depending on what you're using. So make sure that you grab one of these when you're on your consultant site, because you're going to want to use that all the time. And that'll be the one time I ever tell you it's okay with a Sharpie to put on their water bottle brush. Say that 10 times. Because if you don't, I guarantee you're going to find it underneath the bathroom sink that somebody used in the toilet, and you don't want to use that the same way, right? So I'm going to put in here a little bit of our granulated sugar crystals. I love these, and you can buy this in bulk, and I just use a little half of the little spoonful, and I put that over the top. Because they are a little bit larger than obviously regular sugar, and these are sugar crystals, they will drop a little bit to the bottom, but when you sip it out of that straw, it's like the purposeful, you too can be a Tupperware person. It is the perfect Tupperware crystal bite. It's really nice. So the other thing I'm going to add to it, you can make your own homemade syrups, or we are partnered with Torani, and I have a lot of sugar-frees. I have large ones at the studio and the smaller ones here. So I'm going to put in here the sugar-free raspberry syrup, and I just drop a little bit of that. I'm going to seal that up, and then I'm going to grab my other straws. How many of you guys have seen our new straws in this awesome new packet, right? And it's kind of like a little girlfriend holder, if you will. I won't say what I usually do, but it comes with the 4 large and the 4 small. Oops, it looks like I grabbed the wrong one. But it also has your little cleaner. So when you get gunk inside of here, this will go all the way inside and cleans all the way through. Because I use a lot of this for my cold brew and I put other types of things with it, it is really important. It's really nice to have that. And then it just stores right inside of there when you're done cleaning it, and it's stored, and then it buttons right up. I highly recommend one of each of these for your household, an extra one in the car and an extra one in your house, because I use these straws every single day and they're really nice to have. So make sure you grab up one of those as well. And I'm going to put my straw in that. And then the other thing that I have, so check out my cup. Stay tuned. All right, and then I will show you, this one's really cool because you can pop the straw and it fits so perfectly right in there. And look at it, matches right up. Okay, so the next thing that I want to show you, I said I have my favorite cup, right? Same thing, mine's exclusive red. It's what happens when you've been around in Tupperware for a long time. So you can also take, I love these. My girlfriend Louise showed me these here. And this one is the caramel. You can, get all kinds of flavors all over the place. But I have the caramel and I have this almost full of ice. And I just fill that baby right up. And I do the same thing with cold brew. I will make a batch and store it in one of my excessive amount of Tupperware tumblers. When you've been in Tupperware for 20 years, you tend to have a lot of things, right? And so this is a nice little, if you're just on the go, maybe you have to make that trip to the grocery store and let the family stay at home and wait for you, because that's what we're doing right now. Then I make a quick drink on the go. Maybe that's my lunch for the day or an afternoon snack. And then I mix it with some cold brew. So this is what some coffee shops call a doppio shot that you can drop right into your, it's really, instead of having cold brew with creamer and all those flavors, and then I just seal that up. Oh, it squirted right out at me. All right. Good thing I always have my towels on hand, right? But now it's all sealed. It must have had too much air in that pocket. Now it's all sealed, ready to go. Lunch on the go if you need to, or a quick snack, which is really nice. How many of you have ever done that before? Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make that cold brew and how to make that tea, and then another option that you can use with it. So we're going to, in the clean one here, we're going to do the cold brew coffee, and then in the other one I already have, we're going to do the tea. Now there's a couple different ways of doing the tea, so I'll show you that first. How many of you guys prefer tea over coffee? Anybody? Say si, say me, say we. So this would be our coffee that you can also store in our canisters, which is awesome. When I typically are making a quick tea at home, I just grab black tea bags, and it recommends 6 to 8 of those. So I take these tea bags, I fold them down, and I put them down inside of your metal, your stainless steel flush there. However, because I'm supporting small businesses, as we all are right now to keep everybody in motion, from our tea shop that we have here locally. So if you have a local tea shop, highly recommend supporting those small businesses. This one was a summer blend they recommended to me for my friends here in Reno, Nevada. This is the Spice and Tea Shop over in the shopping center by Trader Joe's. So you want to grab that up, and this package came with a Moroccan mint green tea, little package, lavender peach green tea, this one I've tried already, and Maui Wowie green tea. So which one's your guys' favorite? Give me a shout out, tell me what you're liking. We have the lavender peach green tea, Moroccan mint green tea, and Maui Wowie. Boy, do I wish I was in Hawaii right now, right? How many of you guys would love to be in Hawaii? Being stuck there, I'll take it. So tell me which one we should pick. I'm going to show you guys how we make that, get some other things here set up. So when you're using loose leaf tea, the gal recommended to me 1 teaspoon per 10 ounces of your loose leaf tea. This is a 40-ounce carafe, so you want to make sure that you you don't want to have to do a bunch of 1-ounce measurements, so we figured out that it's 4 tablespoons per the 40 ounces of water in your carafe here. So do we have any votes? I'm going to read your comments here. How's everybody doing today? Or mango pure. Oh, I'm gonna have to read this. Hi, Linda. Hi, Louise. Hi, Alvia. Oh, thank you. Or mango puree with chili. That sounds yummy, Catherine. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Lori. Hi, Miss Tina. Did you use your pan? Maui. Okay, that's what I'm thinking too. Maui Wowie, because I have a big trip set up to Hawaii this year, and I'm praying that all this is over by the time it's my time to go. And I am so sorry for so many of you guys that your trips have been canceled. It is just horrible. However, a little tip, a lot of flights are down in cost right now, you guys. My typical flight to Orlando is anywhere from $600 to $700, and I got it yesterday for $222. So where would you guys like to be right now if money was no object and you could be stuck anywhere during this very unfortunate event our world has undertaken? Where would you be stuck? So right here in the comforts of my home, or on a beach with my family in Hawaii. That's what I choose, right? All right, so this here, I'm gonna show you guys also up close. This is literally, fruits that are dried fruits with your tea leaves. So I'm gonna put my tablespoon measurements right down inside of here. Oh, it smells so good. How many of you guys have been to Maui? How many of you have been to Hawaii? I love Hawaii. Absolutely beautiful. God's great earth. Okay, so then with your tea, you're actually going to fill it all the way up to that black line. And it's highly recommended that you use filtered water. Don't want ice cubes. It's highly recommended that you use filtered water so that it sets better inside of here. And you'll notice no color change whatsoever at first. Actually, it does have a little bit of a yellow tint already. And it will start to change colors and transform overnight, like you saw with the first set of tea that I put on there. Hi, Miss Carol Lee. I should be doing this with your coffee. So if you do have a friend who you can support right now during this time with their homemade coffees and small businesses that need our support, I highly recommend it. Just like I said right now with your tea, you want to do the same thing with your coffee friends, right? So give a shout out to your favorite coffee shop. Tell us who they are so we know who to support, because it's really important that we're supporting those small businesses. And so if I can get in here close enough, you will see your tea hanging off the side there. You'll see your tea is going to start to change colors, but there's nothing down at the bottom here. And let's see if I can turn the camera in without pouring it over the top here. You can see the tea leaves raised to the top. And they'll start to get pretty nice and strong inside of there. And I just pop that into the fridge and it sits, they say 8 to 12 hours. It's really your preference. I've had tea sit in there for a couple of days. I like it a lot stronger, so I put that all in there. So how about some cold brew? Who prefers my cold brew? I have to show you guys this. How about my friends who have been with Tupperware forever like me, or you've been a longtime customer? Check out this tumbler. Tell Tupperware, send them an email. We want color changing plastic again. How super fun is that? That is literally the tea changing the color of that plastic. We need to tell Tupperware to do that again, right? I love these larger tumblers, as you can see. So anytime that you can get your hand on that, definitely do that as well. Okay, so I think that I need my own cold brew right now. So I'm gonna put my straw in there because I'm hungry and I'm thirsty, right? Okay, so let's make some cold brew. How many of you guys have ever made cold brew at home? Say me. What is your favorite flavors? What kind do you guys make? So, I'm going to show you some fun little things that you can do. We need some caramel sauce. We're going to take this here. We have our beautiful Shirley Elegant Actually, I don't remember the name of these ones. So we're gonna just decorate that in some caramel because why not? Makes it nice and pretty. Put some ice. It's really nice to have this background to be able to use my cold brew right here, right? So I make cold brew very strong here in my house so that I, you know, it just keeps me awake all night long. So we pour that right in there. Okay. This was also a fun exclusive cup that we had for a little while. And then you can take some almond milk or you can take some creamer. I had the last of my pumpkin creamer and believe it or not, the date was still good. So I'm still using it. Just pour a little bit in there. Watch how fun that changes all the colors. And it's just like being at the coffee shop. Now that's a really simple version of some yummy cold brew to keep your day going. You know, sometimes I always tell the girls, I love me some happy juice. Who loves happy juice? But in my world, it is not alcoholic. I love coffee. And so I will put that in there. And then you can put all kinds of flavors. I have also sugar-free salted caramel. So a little bit more caramel to add to that. And you have pumpkin caramel, whatever you want to call it. It's your house. It's your quarantine. So do what works for you, right? So that's our cold brew made fresh at home. How many of you guys are excited about that? What's your favorite? Oh, I see hazelnut. Love those tumblers. Which one, Catherine? The blue one? Oh, the colorful ones, I bet. That's what you're telling me, huh? Julie, hello. I have not seen your beautiful face in so long. Carolee, we're going to have to show them how to ground some coffee here soon. How long does the coffee last once it's brewed? Good question. So, Julie, you can put the coffee in here. I'm going to show you how to make that right now. You put the coffee in here, and it sits for, again, 8 to 12 hours, depending on how strong you want it. And then it will sit for up to 2 weeks. So I'm going to tell you the difference between cold brew and iced coffee here in just a minute. Let me show you how to make it first. So again, we're going to take off our cap. This is just a cover here. It's not a seal. So if it dumps over, yeah, you're going to have a little mess. So we have a really cool mop towel for that. So you have, again, your carafe, nice and clean. You have your insert. Then this first line that measures up, I'll get close again. You have your first line here that measures, and this is ready to drink coffee. And then if the sun doesn't catch that just right, the second line here is for what my friend Louise says, put some hair on your chest. So it makes it nice and extra strong. And I just use Folgers or whatever I have on my in my pantry. And if you saw one of our videos recently in our post, you see my pantry actually stays pretty stocked all the time. But now that the kids are home, how many of you guys find yourself having to go to the grocery store more often and you don't want to? I'm like, I am so tired of going to the grocery store and I don't want to. I don't have a mask, so I don't want to go there. It's almost frustrating. So this is one of our much older Tupperware containers, but it was perfect for me back in the day when I did coffee in the coffee pot. Now I have a Keurig, so I don't use it as often, but when they came out with the cold brew maker, I thought this is so perfect to use that again because it sits nice and narrow. So you can use our great modular containers for your coffee as well if you prefer, or of course you have this beautiful canister set. So with these, I take the coffee, I put it to my put some hair on your chest line, and then you put that right inside of there, and you just start pouring your water down inside of here. And you either pour it extra slow, or one tip that I've learned, making it at the studio when I'm doing the filtered water, I have to tilt it just to fit it in the side. So you can tilt it, and you'll notice that the water doesn't rise quite as quickly when you're filling it. And you can see it's already changing color down inside of here. So what's happening is that your cold water is going through your coarse coffee grounds. It's very important that it's coarse coffee. If you're using finely ground coffee, then you're gonna find yourself kind of with a bunch of coffee grounds that you're drinking down in the bottom, and that's not fun unless like you like to chew on coffee. So that is also a ice again. That's also very important that you slowly pour it into there so that it soaks up all the coffee grounds that are going down inside of there. And then you're going to fill it to the black line here at the top, which is also the top of your filter. So you want to fill it to the top, and then you let it sit for 8 to 12 hours again. And then drink at your pleasure. So I highly recommend having your favorite tumbler, because when you want to go and take it, drain it out, then you're going to take your filter here, you pull this out, and you kind of let it sit on the side, which I'll show you guys how you do that when it's all done, even though it's not going to be completely done. You'll notice as you're filling it up with the water, the coffee grounds actually will raise. So you just slowly pour it into that, and different brands do a little bit different things, I've noticed. So what I like about doing it this way versus going to a coffee shop is it really does not matter what kind of coffee you use. I've used different brands on this multiple times, and it's been totally okay. So then you see how it just raised. So that's plenty of water in there. So if it was done, you see that it's already filling up here, but it's not dark enough. So I want it to sit 8 to 12 hours. And for me, I have just enough left. Actually, no, I finished it, didn't I? So this will be perfect for me tomorrow afternoon. When it's done, make sure that you cap it, put it in your fridge. The size of this is awesome because it sits right in the side of the refrigerator door, and it doesn't take up a bunch of space on the shelf either. So when it's done, you can take this, and if it is too much drainage going on, I always just take it and it will rest a little bit on the side. No hands, like the bicycle, but safer. It will drain right off to the side. Let it finish draining, and then you can use your cap here to transfer and go over to the refrigerator, to the sink, and let it drain off. Now, once you're done draining that off, you're gonna take those brewed grounds, if you will, and go put them in your garden. We're at home right now. We're encouraging everybody to get fresh air outside of your own home. So go and put that inside your garden and watch your flowers grow. That was a tip that I learned. I have no green thumb whatsoever, but if I can make my backyard look pretty using coffee grounds, I think coffee's a winner, right? So how awesome is that? So once I'm done with that, I take that out. You can just rinse it out, use your scrubby brush, let it sit upside down on your countertop so that the air can dry it. I recommend that you just let it air dry, set it aside somewhere safe so that the metal mesh doesn't get all hardened, and then it will be the perfect cold brew coffee. So how can you get this all at a great deal? You can be a great consumer, and we so appreciate our customers and our host right now, keeping our small businesses and our small dreams or large dreams alive, because in Tupperware, this is, for me, my full-time job. So we so appreciate so many of you guys out there supporting us. So you can be a great consumer and pick up 1, 2, or 3 of these, depending on how much coffee and tea that you drink. I have 2 in my house, and I think 6 at the studio, because anytime, and as soon as the studio opens, come down and get some cold brew and tea. We always have it on hand. But I always have it ready to go at the studio, and we're gonna have a great big celebration when this is over, right? So you're gonna definitely want 2 of those, 1 for your cold brew coffee, 1 for your tea. But you can also take your cold brew coffee, you can put it in our micro pitcher. Let me grab that for you. You can put it in our micro pitcher here and turn that over, fill it up to the capacity that you choose to, and zap that for a couple of minutes. If you prefer to heat it up on the stovetop, you can do that as well. And you have hot coffee. So the Keurig breaks or the coffee pot breaks and you can't use it, what would you do? You heat up your cold brew, because you can always make that. So what's the difference between cold brew and iced coffee? Cold brew is something that you can make right here in your carafe. You steep it for 8 to 12 hours. In typical coffee shops, they need to steep it for about 48 hours is what I've been told. And then it lasts for anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks, depending on what they've used. Ours, simple like this, up to 2 weeks, which is awesome. Now, that's our cold brew. What is iced coffee? Iced coffee is the coffee I make in the coffee pot or the Keurig in the morning, and what's left of it, I throw it over some ice and call it a drink for the day. So there is a difference. Cold brew is when you make this, if you're not really a coffee person, you'll find yourself enjoying this a little bit, depending on how strong you make it. That's a key little asterisk there for you. But you can pour that right into your cup and it will last and taste so great. Plus, all the acidity from regular coffee does not happen with cold brew, which makes that nice and lasting longer also. Now, if I wanted to take this on the go, once the insert is out of here, our spaghetti seal dispenser fits, the seal part of it fits right on top of this, and I can take the carafe on a go. When we have those picnics and all those gatherings that we are going to have this summer. Say yes. So I'm looking forward to that day. I want to answer any questions that you guys have before I go there and answer those comments. So let me tell you about this great deal. Are you thinking, I would love to have this and all these gadgets? Say yes. Go find your consultant's website and ask them, how can you support them? How can you be of service to them? Have a Facebook party for them as we are social distancing. We can have social media parties and help your consultant today by doing that. But how else can you have this great opportunity at a way discounted price and have your opportunity to make money? Now, I told you that I've been doing Tupperware for 20 years. And when I first started this business, I said, no way, that is stupid. I am not sticking around with that. That was 20 years ago and 20 free cars ago. And I said it was stupid. And here I still am, living my best life, as my kids would say, right? And so we have this great opportunity that I want to tell you about. This whole set that I told you about in the beginning, you can go back and check that out if you're just joining us. Make sure you go back, watch it, #replay. And you want to check out that whole deal. It's a $158 value for all those items that I talked about that you can have just for $30 just for getting your business started. And just for saying yes today. You know what? I'm going to try this out. I'm sitting at home, homeschooling my kids, having different activities, whatever that quarantine life looks for you. You can get this $39 Keurig for just $10 just for trying Tupperware out and saying, I'm going to get it a good start. And not only that, you get to pick your Tupperware opportunity, whichever kit that you choose. So make sure that you message your consultant and say, how can I help you? But how can you help me? It's kind of like how they said, what can you do for, what can your country do for you and what can you do for your country? Right now, we need to keep the economy going. We need to support those small businesses. And I really encourage you guys to get out there, check out your Tupperware consultant's website and see what you need to store more properly, longer, safer food in your cabinets, in your refrigerator, and all those great things. So let me answer a couple questions, see what you guys are asking us today. Turn this over here a little bit. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Let's see, we have tumblers. Julie, hopefully I answered your question. Let me know. Catherine, the changing colored ones, love, love, love. Right? Where can we get the container? Oh, I flipped you guys around to my other side here. Oh, goodness sakes. You too can be tech savvy in your own way. Where can I get the container where you have the coffee? That one's an exclusive, Catherine. So we can check on that for you. I love how it has the spoon inside the container. I know, right? I will send it to the marketing team and see what we can do with that. They are in the catalog. Thank you, Brian, for answering that. All right, any other questions for you guys today? Tell me, what are you guys making for dinner? We have some really great recipes. We have my kids helping cooking. I know a lot of our friends in Tupperware are cooking with us. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting our home-based businesses. We truly appreciate all of you guys. Are you laughing at me, Julie? I turned that around. So thank you guys for joining us today. We truly appreciate you. We appreciate you supporting our small businesses. And like I said, if you can have a Facebook party for a friend right now, reach out to those Tupperware consultants. We can all use good storage, good, safe, healthy storage. And why not partner it with a little cup of coffee or a cup of tea and make your day even better? Have a blessed day, you guys. Thanks for joining.